How you guys doing? I'm BJ O'Neal. This is
Philip Pullum.
And you with Lovelations, and we're navigating love. And today we're talking about what to do
when you get annoyed in your relationship.
Man. Well, I can tell you what we used to do.
Yeah, I can tell you there was a lot of under the breath comments.
Yep.
A lot of words that I don't want to repeat on camera.
Yeah.
A lot of sarcasm. I think I probably there was nothing off limits at one point when I was annoyed.
Right.
From arguing to sarcasm to doing petty stuff.
Right.
I did
irritability, distance. That's
Right.
what I did on my end. Like,
Yeah.
look, I'm not saying anything to you. I'm short. My energy is like reflecting like what you're doing right now need to stop and change right at this moment because I'm frustrated. And what I realized is that never brought us closer or even resolved what I was being annoyed about. What about you?
Yeah, it didn't help bring us any closer together, and it's so funny because you think that would be common sense, right? It's like, hey, I want to be close with my wife. I want this awesome relationship, but when she annoys me, I tend to do things at the end of the day that either will distance myself or distance her in the process. So,
well, I mean, the funny part about it is because I have a right to be annoyed, though, right? If she's doing something silly or something I think is stupid, I mean, that's human nature, isn't it? Just to be annoyed. Should I feel wrong about the fact that I'm annoyed?
you shouldn't feel wrong about the fact that you're annoyed, but it's because we're gonna have feelings. We're not robots.
Right.
So it's what do I do with that annoyance? I can take that annoyance and I can bear it in me, and then I can focus on what my spouse or the person I'm in the relationship is not doing, or I can feed off that and turn that into energy and to refocus myself into learning what actually works.
Right. Exactly. It's when we're looking for tools to manage annoyance, it's actually something that love requires at the end of the day for us to bear annoyances, and the Bible references it as patience.
Patience, yeah.
It says love is patient, and patient is enduring annoyances.
Enduring annoyances, absolutely. So, it is it's basically waiting with expectant hope, right? And it's almost like the fuel, if you will, to continue to move in the direction of what you are seeking out for.
Right. I'm like, I guess you could say, doing this kind of generalization, but it seems like when we ask people to be patient, they assume that it means you have to be walked over or you can't voice that you desire something to change, which is very far from the truth. It means that while you communicate those things, you have a grace and a will to wait through that change.
One of the things that if you ask most couples, and I'll just say that most couples will, if you ask them, they are good-natured and good-hearted people towards each other. We have our differences, but we want our relationships to work. That's why you're in the relationship to begin with, and so if I can get to a place where I can be vulnerable enough to communicate, hey, I don't necessarily like this, or this works better for me, communicate from my heart something, but then make that the seed that you plant while you wait for that to come to pass, because it may not come to pass right away. And so that's the patient aspect of it. It's being able to say, hey, I can use your help around the house. Hey, I would prefer if you call me to let me know some things that are going on, or hold my hand, or whatever it is. There's nothing that's off limits to you asking, but then being able to wait expectantly while that process takes place, because the other person has to digest that information. They have to decide if they want to do it, if they will do it at all, and they have to go through that process in their mind, and so it's what allows you to sit back and wait, but at the same time still communicate.
Right. And when we are annoyed, a lot of times we think love is the opportunity to enjoy each other, which again, obviously we desire to enjoy each other in our relationships, share great times and opportunities, especially intimately enjoy, romance or whatever that may look like. But what we fail to realize that the most opportune time for love to be present is when there are challenges, mistakes, and annoyances. So what I had to learn for myself is that the very thing that I'm complaining about, I have to start looking at as an opportunity. Because if I require my wife to be pleasing in all of her activities at all times for me to continually pursue her, then any man will be with her.
Right.
Any guy. If she has some kind of infinite ability to please someone 24/7, everybody be lined up at the door. But to see some intrinsic value that despite an annoyance, I can look over that and be present and wait as we both evolve together, and so it's like where I could be annoyed, I can also see that this is an opportunity to be uncommonly present. And that's what helped me in my journey. It's like, okay, yeah, you don't like this, but what's more important now? What are you expecting to be able to experience after this annoyance has passed?
Right. I think a key definition of patience is not just waiting, but how you wait.
Definitely, and it's what I found is that, and this is why I do what I do, is a lot of times, especially in my own marriage, I think if you caught some of the previous videos, it was at a point where the marriage looked like it's done. It's not what I wanted, not what I desired. It looked like it's on its way out. But let me tell you, without anything changing on the outside, when my perspective changed on the inside, I actually began to see my relationship in a new light and enjoy it more than I was when I was so focused on those annoyances and those arguments and those mistakes and those little, petty little things, that just kind of jump on your nerves. That,
Right.
And I'll be honest, like even to this day, like my wife do certain things and I'm like, it hasn't changed. But those things don't outweigh everything that I have the now perspective to see that she is doing. Like for instance, she likes to drive from the passenger seat, get in this lane, get in that lane. I know where I'm going. I know I'm gonna turn right, and again, I have the discipline now to take a breath, and understand she's just trying to help me navigate. And
Right.
so let me look at this differently. I don't have to feel like I'm being bossed. This is her trying to, not being demanding or controlling, but this is how she offers her help, And so without patience, I couldn't get a different understanding. Before then, I would only see it the way I wanted to interpret these situations,
Right. I think patience allows you to focus in on what you're hoping for.
Right.
And that is definitely key. As a farmer, if you think about a farmer plants a seed. A farmer is constantly looking for the fruit to sprout.
Right.
But it knows that it's going to take time and it's going to take season. It's going to be a season where there's nothing that shows up.
Right.
But he looks out on a consistent basis with the expectation that eventually what he has planted will eventually be spring into a harvest.
Right. And on our journey, a lot of times, especially because again, I made a lot of mistakes, and a lot of things you would remind me is that, well, if you sowed some bad seeds, you may not have reaped it then, but they're going to sprout. But continue to sow the good seeds.
Right.
And just like those bad seeds kind of sprouted their fruit, the good seeds will eventually do the same thing over time. And so even while you're harvesting the bad seed, plant the good seed even in that season. And it was a great discipline I was able to, develop listening to, those that insight that you gave, But it takes, again, expecting that just the way I'm dealing with all this, she forgave me for that, or whatever it may have been, to still plant the good seeds to believe that I will also reap that. And it takes patience to do that, expecting that fruit to actually matter.
Right. So the exciting thing about it is patience is something you can choose and decide to do. And it's not a one-time thing. It is a discipline built over time. Right. And the more you intentionally focus on that, the more you practice towards that, and you will begin to see not only the biggest thing is you'll begin to see your mind change while you wait for what it is you're waiting to change in the other person.
Right. So obviously we can't really just sum up patience in 10 minutes, but we're not going to keep your time and so forth. We want to respect you getting back to your life and everything else, but we're come back with part 2, part 3 as we continue to talk about patience and it being a powerful force to get to those things you are expecting, and again, how to manage those annoying things you experience before getting to that goal. So make sure you check out the next episode as we are in this series of Love is Patient. And we hope that you enjoyed what we just shared. Continue to travel with us. Love relations as we navigate love. We'll be with you on the next episode.